Hello, chat. We're getting started here in just one moment. Let's see here. Let's test this. I don't think that went through. A lot of stuff got reset again. Just that, you know, the quarterly reset of all of the sources and everything in Stream Deck. That's... it really wants me to feel like it's my first time every time. All right, music. And it's not just OBS. At a certain point, it's clearly just like Windows audio stuff. It's a hateful technology. I think the problem is I have too much faith in computers. I expect them to work, and then they laugh at me.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now!
Did you guys hear that? Okay, cool. Right, if I believed hard enough, right. I suppose I could tweet, and then I think we could even get started. All right, let's see. What did he name this podcast? You guys think? Let's see here. Is it Metroid's time? You know it's always Metroid time. The Omnisaya? Okay, can't hear Mike. All right, Mike, talk again.
Do that. You just ignored me, probably because Christian was also yelling over me.
All right, so Christian made a Warhammer 40K reference, and then he asked to Mike, "Do you get that?" And then Mike get what? And then Christian said it was like a Warhammer 40K joke, and then Mike got real mad because, of course, he doesn't know Warhammer 40K. He is a cool dude who likes Tolkien and Miyamoto.
He's going on about a joke, and the joke only worked assuming I knew something about Warhammer 40K.
That's how you get them.
Get out of here, you.
You know the Omnisaya.
Okay.
That will never leave your brain.
We're already late.
All right, we're gonna
You're
start.
already infected.
Tweeted. We're ready to go. Got my freaking Frankie Kazarian AEW trading card.
Do you hear the music?
No, and I'm glad I don't, because that'd be bad if I heard music when there was none playing. All right, I am gonna count us in. Mike, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm drinking an Edmund Fitzgerald by Great Lakes.
Ooh, that's the stuff. And away we go. 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof! Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. We're talking about Metroid this, a little Metroid that. We're also talking about our favorite RPGs on the Switch. How about look at this? Well, I was just talking about this beer I'm drinking, Jeff. This Edmund Fitzgerald Porter by Great Lakes. Then Ridge 8-Bit said we have to try Holy Cannoli Stout. Me and Jeff have both tried that because we went to Penguin City Brewing in Youngstown, Ohio when he was over here a couple weekends ago. It was a fantastic beer. So,
It was really good. I really liked it. I'm like, oh, I should actually get some of that.
Yeah,
Bring it home.
You know, I don't really like sweet beers, but I do like those kind of like pastry, desserty kind of stouts. Those are sort of fun as long as they're not too obnoxiously sweet. You gave me like a cinnamon roll stout or even like a peanut butter stout or something. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yes, it was very delicious.
Visualizer says, was it cannoli flavored? I mean, yeah, and the fact that it was kind of cookie, sugar, a little creamy.
Italian grandma. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, porters already have some of those flavors in there, right? So it's good to go, or stouts or whatever. But yeah, it was a good time. How are you, Jeff? I'm good. I am ready to talk about Nintendo. I'm in a Nintendo mood. I was just thinking, I'm enjoying Fire Emblem Engage. I'm like, you know what? I think I am. Maybe it's because you like were. Yeah, I'm a Nintendo. I was like, maybe I might actually try to play Scarlet and Violet. I have Violet. I might actually, mostly because I'm like, yeah, we have kind of brought nothing of that to this show, really, of actually playing it. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot. I would like to talk about it on this show. I said why I didn't like it, but I just gave mean criticism, and that's a bad thing to do.
That's right. You're no longer allowed to be mean. That's right.
Seth Rogen upset. Yeah. I bet Seth Rogen's never been mean to anybody. Actually, maybe he hasn't. He might be a nice guy. I don't know.
I mean, he's been mean to people who suck. I definitely have seen that, but I don't know. I mean, listen,
we suck.
Yeah, okay, well, that's true. So then Seth Rogen's definitely been mean to me. I'm sure that's happened.
Jeff, we have a few news stories here. Would you like to hear about them?
Yeah, let's talk about what Nintendo's doing in the news. I don't know. All right, man.
Jeff, I like your enthusiasm.
Thank
today.
You. You're welcome.
That's good.
Woof, woof.
You keep bringing that energy, buddy.
I'll do what I can. I'm trying to fend off a headache, so yeah, let's do it.
I like it. Metroid Prime Remastered debuted at number 2 on the UK charts. This is for physical game releases. It was behind only Hogwarts Legacy. This is actually like about half what the original did on the GameCube way back when. But this is a game where the physical release seemed like an afterthought.
It was an afterthought. I mean, it literally came after the release, which was a shadow drop on the eShop, and it's been number 1 on that store ever since. And now people can get it physically, and they didn't print that many copies, at least now for this very, very, very first run. So I know there's been another like a replenishment that people are starting to get copies again. But I was right there. I ordered mine as soon as I possibly could in the United States, and it took until yesterday. I think I got my copy yesterday or the day before, so it was definitely an afterthought. So this is really good. It just what that means is every single one of those copies that was in the UK probably sold.
Right, yeah, and they're making more now, so it's good. You know, it seems like a lot of people are just buying that version because they want it physical. It seems like also a lot of people want that version almost as a collectible. I mean, you know, you own the game. You're not going to play off of that cart. I feel like there's a good amount of people who don't have much of intention of actually using the game cart coming with that copy.
Yes, I think that's right. It's mostly going to be something that it will be nice to have, and I am happy to continue playing the eShop version. That's been very good for me.
Right. So, you know, Jeff, me and you, we hyped ourselves up before with Metroid Dread when it got all these amazing reviews, and we were like, the Switch effect. We were thinking it was going to sell 5 million copies and all this jazz. What are we hoping here for Metroid Prime Remastered? It seems to also be getting a lot of good buzz. It's cheaper. Do you think we're going to get a press release any day now? Or are we going to have to wait until the next quarter, like earnings report, to find out that it only sold 2 million copies somehow anyways?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's going to sell that much more over 2 million just because of the way that they stunted the physical release. A lot of people do like to buy physical Switch games. We're talking about, a lot of people are going to collect this, get it as a collector's edition. But a lot of people are like, no, I buy physical games on Switch. Switch still has a pretty sizable audience of people that are that way. And so I think the fact that they, sort of underprinted and they did this delayed launch, I think it probably will hamper the sales a little bit, but it still seems like the excitement is all there. And so I'm hopeful that probably not a press release, probably in the quarterly earnings, we do find out it probably sold somewhere between 2 and 3 million copies. I think it would be very good if this sold over 3 million copies. That would be awesome. That would be huge for this game.
Yeah, I would be very happy about that. Speaking of Metroid Fusion is coming to NSO on March 9th. I am very ready to play that one again. I mean, it's a very breezy playthrough anyways. It's just a really fun time. It's been a little bit since the last time I played it. I'm not even sure when that would have been.
I just played it like a couple years ago, right? Like I think even during the course of this show, I think I played it. So yeah.
I think I also played that. Like I played Minish Cap when that was a 3DS Ambassador game. I'm pretty sure I played Metroid Fusion last when it was my Ambassador game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Are you more of a Fusion or a Zero Mission guy?
I think I originally thought I was more of a Zero Mission guy, and I love Zero Mission. But after playing Fusion again recently, Fusion is very cool, very good. I think when it happened at the time, it was like I got Fusion and I got Metroid Prime, and it felt like, well, this is a miracle. Metroid Prime is this new thing that is so good. And Metroid Fusion, well, boy, I mean, I really like those Castlevania games, and now and I like that Super Metroid from what I started just playing of it recently, and now I get Fusion, and I'm like, oh, well, Metroid Prime's really hitting, and Fusion's like, oh, yeah, this is also cool. And now, with hindsight, I'm like, oh, no, Fusion was just awesome in its own different way. And so at this point, I think I probably lean towards Fusion.
I think I was always Fusion and still am. I like Zero Mission a lot. There is a bit of a problem with just that. I mean, you know, because Super Metroid is set in the same place as it is very similar to Super Metroid in a lot of ways, and I ultimately just prefer Super Metroid to it still. Zero Mission is still a ton of fun, and that like extra little surprise scenario you have at the end there is really cool. But, you know, and Zero Mission does the thing where it's much more forward about telling you where to go next, and like that's okay. That doesn't kill it for me, but I do prefer Super Metroids a bit more. You know, hey, if I'm stuck, I'll go online and find out where to go, but I don't necessarily want the game just straight up telling me.
Yeah, yes, totally, same.
Speaking of March 9th, we are also getting the Mario Kart Deluxe DLC Wave 4 coming then. I'm pretty excited about this because this is going to have that brand new Yoshi's Island track, Jeff.
Yeah, it is like brand new. So the other one was Yoshi's Circuit. What's the one that's like shaped like him?
Oh, yeah, that's one. One's from the DS game, if I remember.
Yeah, I think that's in there. It's already in there. But yes, yes, this one, it just looks like the Yoshi's Island game. It's like that. It looks just like that with all the music and all those enemies.
Double Dash. Thank you.
Double Dash. I'm like, yeah, because I thought it was like a very, very popular one.
That's right. It is Double Dash. Yeah, because I remember you go through like a tunnel at some point. Even
Yes. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I really want that Yoshi's track. Hey, Birdo, why not? Let's give Birdo some love. I love Birdo.
Man, they are like all about the GameCube. We got the GameCube track. We got Birdo, who I think was only ever a character, or at least was prominently a character in Double Dash. Got Metroid Prime. They know. I think they're learning about how much people are kind of clamoring for all the.
They're learning, but how long does the lesson last? We'll see.
Right. Is everyone else going to move on by the time? It seems like now is the time to really strike. Like, this is the time where you have other companies making GameCube controllers and GameCube, like, keyboard keys and stuff like that. By the time Nintendo really gets on board here. Although, like, sometimes it never really goes out of style. I mean, NES has been cool retro for a long time now. Although, I don't know, is that game to the point now where it is, like, yes, old man boomer stuff?
It is, yes, totally. It is. Like, the retro market for NES games has cooled off significantly, yeah. It's no one is trying to collect every NES game anymore, except for the people that were like really committed to it from beforehand. Yes, it is. That has come, and it's not gone, but it's come and cooled off a tiny bit. So that happens. I don't think that's going to happen to GameCube anytime soon. It took NES a very long time, and Nintendo going back to those mines repeatedly several times before we got there. And Nintendo knows this; they know it better than anyone. So that's why they started doing the subscription services for their older games, and why they treat GameCube games and N64 games very differently.
I need another mod to discipline Christian for saying the banned word. Wow. Or Christian, discipline yourself. I don't know if the other mods are here.
you know it has to be done, Christian. You even apologized. Yep, we know.
You know what you did.
I'll get him.
Look, I heard him say it too, and I got excited, but I thought better than to say something about the banned word. Hey, by the way, everyone, if you're listening live, please hit that thumbs up button. We do appreciate it. It helps more people find this show. We've been getting some super chats. Thank you so much. We will read those before the end of the show. Before our first commercial break, we'll start reading them too. Last little thing here, Jeff. Front Mission 2 remake is launching on June 12. I know you're enjoying your Fire Emblem a lot. Have you had any interest in checking out the front mission games? Get a little bit of that mech turn-based strategy action?
Interest, yes. Expectation to actually enjoy it is very low, especially after trying to trying Final Fantasy Tactics and trying Tactics Ogre and be like, oh man, these games are actually at this point just nowhere near as fun for me as Fire Emblem Engage. It's like this the Fire Emblem Engage totally gets what I come to these games for. These other ones are from a different age where I would have to be a lot more patient with the talking, and the tactics are good, but even in Engage they're still better. So front mission I expect to be very similar to that. Who knows? I'll probably try it. It's another game I can get on Switch or Steam Deck and try it there. I always had a curiosity about front mission. But I don't know. There's also like a brand new mech tactics game on Steam that people are really into right now. I just picked it up.
Well, you're really like Into the Breach, and that's a mech tactics game.
Phantom Brigade,
technically, I guess.
One. Yeah, I mean, yes, Into the Breach, but Into the Breach is like one of the most exquisitely designed games of all time, and I should not bring those expectations into any sort of older sort of tactics mech game. I just wouldn't expect to be able to match up to that. But But yeah, I don't know. Phantom Brigade is this new one. It just came out. It's getting good reviews on Steam. I think I'll probably just actually end up checking that out. And even then, I'm like, I'll probably be happier with Fire Emblem Engage.
Well, the first Front Mission remake already came out, and I don't think it got amazing buzz. I don't think the reviews were that great. I think the people who like Front Mission say that 3 is the one. So I think a lot of people say that's maybe the remake to check out when they get there.
Maybe that's what I'll do then.
Yeah. There's also that like 2D action platformer one that they made on the Super Nintendo that never came out here. But I think it did come out in Europe, so it's like already localized or something. I don't know. That game's supposed to be good. Front Mission, gun, something. I don't know. Is it Left Alive a Front Mission game?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. It's one of the reasons I've been curious about Front Mission, because I'm like, what is this wannabe Metal Gear Solid thing? And people would be like, no, it's a Front Mission game. I'm like, oh yeah, Front Mission was their weird mech thing, and they just made a Metal Gear Solid ripoff inside of Front Mission, and yes, they did, and it's real bad.
That's fantastic. Front Mission Gun Hazard. Thank you, Seraphis. Yeah, if you're looking for Super Nintendo games to play that
Gun
you never
Hazard, that's right,
played, check out Front Mission Gun Hazard. That's pretty cool stuff. Well, that's it for the news. Why don't we read these super chats we got? Can you we missed a super chat when we did our last podcast, Jeff. If that's still on there, can you read that one out loud?
Yeah, let me check that out.
Go down a smidge more.
Yeah, let me actually get Stream Elements up, and in the meantime, while I'm doing that, let me read some of these newer ones first. Let's see here from Uriel Delgado. You two are showing great disrespect by not having Tommy Tallarico submit his own console. He'd clearly wipe both Jeff and Mike. Hello, gents. Love Metroid. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think next time we draft a console, Mike, we will either have to get Tommy Tallarico to draft one, or we can have an AI draft one as Tommy Tallarico and just assume, of course, it would know him.
It would just be him piggybacking off of like all the most prestigious games from that time while claiming that he helped make them, and then people will find like video evidence of him saying they were bad when they came out. That's all it'll be.
Yeah, Metroid Prime game that he worked hand in hand with Miyamoto on. It was 7.5 out of 10, I think, from him.
It was like his own game, apparently.
Joe S. Notice me, senpai.
You're noticed.
We acknowledge you. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Steven Sullivan. Would you anticipate Prime 2/3 to run in the same engine as 1, or will that be just a simple port with HD? Hopefully, Nintendo goes with the remaster engine. I don't know enough to say for sure. My guess would be that I think it is emulated with HD graphics sort of attached in the same way that they did Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Maybe I'm wrong. I honestly just don't know the answer to it. All I can say is what I've heard. Prime 1 would be the big boy remaster. 2 and 3 would also come to Switch with not as much done to them. What does that mean? I don't know. You know as much as I do now.
Speaking about that, we should probably talk about this because our buddy MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, he did this video, caused quite a stir about how difficult it's going to be to do backwards compatibility on the next Switch, and this kind of has some people freaking out. Can you maybe add your perspective to this and wisdom, almighty Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, listen, just because you asked nicely for once, definitely.
I'm always nice.
So yeah, MVG's point is, and we've said this actually a bunch of times on the show because MVG has pointed it out in the past, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point. So the Tegra X1 chip, they code games down to the metal. Basically, that means there's not some, Windows layer on top of this x86 machine that makes it like very easy to translate things from one generation to the next of hardware. No, you code things down to the Tegra X1 metal so you can get as much performance out of that thing as possible. And so NVIDIA basically introducing a very, very new generation of chips, likely for the Switch follow-up, means that there's not going to be a lot of continuity there between like the code and coding down to the metal. And so his point is that with the new Switch, it just will not have that inherent backward compatibility that we're now accustomed to, because it does work this way with PS5 to PS4 and Xbox Series X and S to Xbox One and PC going back to the beginning of time. Well, obviously there's issues there, but going back a long way. So, and I think he's right. That does sound right. The answer, though, and he points this out in his videos, in his most recent one where he talked about this, there are obvious solutions, and one of them is what we've seen Nintendo do time and time again, which is put older hardware into the new hardware, and that, putting the GameCube into the Wii and putting, Wii in the Wii U. They've done that a lot. They did that on almost all their handhelds. You pointed out on the Bombcast today, though, they probably want a more permanent solution than just that, because they probably intend to have these Switch games just work in perpetuity. And I think that's probably also right. And in that case, I think NVIDIA provides some sort of translation layer, some sort of technology that makes most of those games just work, maybe with a small update, a small patch. But I also expect a lot of the bigger games like Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet, to get updates to run natively on the next hardware. And I think that's what we're hearing about.
Right. I mean, I guess that could always be their fallback, is they could just settle on working on some of the big heavy hitters, I guess. But I think everyone expects pretty full backwards compatibility. I mean,
they've said as much. They've said as much that they've never said we are going to have full backward compatibility. What they said to investors is, here's the line going up of how much people spend on the eShop and on subscriptions. And here's how that line's going to keep going up even as we transition to new hardware. It's just going to keep going up in the same direction with no reset, no loss in momentum. And there's only a couple ways you accomplish that. And one of them has to include a continuity of people feeling like their purchases carry over, so they feel good about continuing to buy games and they don't miss a beat in their subscription. And is Nintendo really going to reset the subscription services? Like, okay, this time you have this handful of games instead, because these ones just work better. No, they're going to find a way to get these things to work.
I know MVG's right about the difficulties, and it's really good to see him brought up. But it also, like I said, he points it out. I think Nintendo's going to figure something out here. I just think it'll be a disaster. I can't think of a system that needed backwards compatibility more, right? It's almost kind of nuts that the Wii had GameCube backwards compatibility, considering how relatively unpopular that system was, right?
Yes, totally.
The next Switch, I just don't know. It seems like there'd be a revolt if you told everybody they have to go buy, Mario Kart, Mario's, all those Zeldas again, or that they can't just bring them over. It just seems like we're not in that era anymore.
The one we missed, was that Antonioni, you think?
That sounds right. Would have been the last one from
this is the last one I see. From Antonioni, what's your take if Nintendo does a preview to press for Tears of the Kingdom prior to launch? Also, you boys are killing it with the late night show grind. Thank you so much, Antonioni.
Thank you. Well, look at that. He sent us a Nintendo-themed question on Thursday anyway.
It's
so
perfect.
That worked out pretty nice.
Yep. But basically his question is what's your take if Nintendo does a preview to press for Tears of the Kingdom prior to launch? I don't exactly know what he's trying to ask, but I mean, do you think that's possible?
I wonder, because I went out for Final Fantasy 16 to get hands-on early with it, and other companies do these big preview events. I'm trying to. Is that something Nintendo does a lot of, a big come out early preview event?
I remember they would always do the bus tour, because that's the thing that would come to Ohio, and they'd be like, "Hey, Jeff Grubb, we're in Columbus. Do you want to come on our bus?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I never got invited on their bus.
Yeah, I got the Nintendo Bang bus. I was on there. Yeah. They would always be like, I'd get in there and it'd be like, here's Hey Pikmin. Like, okay, cool.
Oh, great.
All right.
Thank you.
Listen, I love it, guys. I honestly, I love this bus, but all right. I mean, I guess that they're not. I should have not expected much, and there wasn't much. So yeah.
Hey Pikmin. Was Hey Pikmin made by the Balan Wonderworld people, or is that something else with a weird?
That sounds right, but I don't. I'm gonna say I don't know the answer for sure.
Trajectory like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, whether they do or not, I don't think it's gonna matter too much to what I'm expecting for Tears of the Kingdom.
Let's see here. From Christopher Minotti. I always considered myself a loofah boy, but after using Manscaped's body buffer, I am a changed man. Bless you, beef and cheddar boys.
Game Mess if users use the code MESS at manscaped.com. That's not even a paid ad right now. You got that one for free.
Yeah, the ads will come back eventually, but we're not this week.
20% off.
But obviously, we're out there changing lives, so you should listen, Chris.
It still works.
Bless you too, young Christopher. Burrito says, Big Wolf intensifies.
Intensifies.
And then Passel of Hogs 420 says, can you say body buffer 10 times fast? You want to go?
Yeah, you count for me.
Yeah.
Body buffer, 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 body buffer. Look at that.
Wow. Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff. This is what people tune in for.
You want to give it a go?
Sure. Body buffer, 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 body buffer.
You're good.
That's a good. Someone put that to a beat. Give us a little tune. There
we go.
You just drop the bass right there. It's dubstep, I believe. I believe that's dubstep.
Yeah. I wonder if that's because we talk so much nowadays. It's
I did use my like elocution. I can't even say the word that's like says you could say words well. My elocution tricks to like put the tongue to the top of my mouth and like help me say it fast.
I tend to talk a little too fast sometimes. Maybe I need to work on that a bit. Is that what putting your tongue on the top of your mouth is good for?
It slows me down a little bit. Yeah, it's like I am. Instead of like letting my tongue hang lazily in my mouth and getting tripped up on it, it forces me to engage my tongue and say the words with a little bit more purpose, and it helps me. I don't know if it would help everybody.
I feel weird. I feel like this is impacting the way I sound, and I
there's definitely a balance. You don't want to like shove it to the top of your mouth and get all. Yeah. This is because when I'm a Southern oil baron, this is how I talk.
There you go. Yeah.
It's one of my characters I'm working on, everybody. You guys got a little preview there.
I think we got one more super chat come in. A couple more super chats come in.
Let's take a look here we got another one from Steven Sullivan. Mike's got to play Pikmin 3 Deluxe before it comes out. Listen, I've given up on trying to get him to play Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
I want to, but man, time's ticking. There's so many Switch games to play, and before I know it, Zelda's going to be here.
I'm going to play Pikmin 4. And then I'll tell him whether he should play Pikmin 3 Deluxe or 4. How about that, everybody?
I'm probably just going to play 4 when it comes out, because I'll probably get excited about the new one.
Yeah, but I'm afraid, what if it's not as good as 3 Deluxe, and then you're turned off of Pikmin for forever?
To judge the whole series poorly.
Exactly, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Huey F. Newton, if Jeff and Mike were in the JoJo universe, who would be the stand, and who would be the stand user? Just make something up.
What do you think that means?
Just make something up.
Is that like tops and bottoms?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you would be the bottom, aka Stan, and I'll be the stand user, aka the top. I think you laugh, but I bet that's correct.
I mean, there's no way to know for sure, so I'm going to say, yeah, you're probably correct.
Like, Stan is your persona? They have, like, alter egos, and I don't know. I know very little about JoJo except what it looks like, and I know people like JoJo. And, like, it's very stylized. I get that. I find the way it looks kind of repulsive. But, good on JoJo.
Listen, he said it. I mean, I agree with him, but he said it. So go get him.
I said it. Come after me. I'm also one who thinks that Goku's Japanese voice is obnoxious, but yeah.
Because it is. All right. Let's see. I think that does it for the Super Chats. Giving it one last look. Yes, I think we're all caught up. Mike, back to you.
Well, Jeff, actually, why don't we take a break now? When we come back, we could talk about favorite RPGs on the Switch. We can hear about our community. We'll talk about what we've been playing. We'll catch up on any more super chats. How's it sound?
Sounds good. Okay, we're on break.
Stand user.
I mean, stand user would just be a person, right? Just be one of the characters.
I guess that's just the person. Yeah, it's like the person, and then they're like their Sailor. It's like their Sailor Moon girl who goes to high school, and then Sailor Moon the person.
Christian, I will time you out again.
Like Yoshi, shut the fuck up.
I will time you out again.
How could you like Yoshi, fucking Toad Boys, and all that shit, and then turn around and shit on the queen, the Goku queen?
Well, to be clear, Yoshi and Toad are not main characters and have very few lines of dialogue.
And they're annoying.
Yeah,
You love them. You will suck in that dick from downtown, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Know.
That's right. You got me. You caught me red-handed. But it's
and still our personas.
I just remember when you'd play, the Mario Kart for Game Boy, and you play as one of the characters, they wouldn't stop talking. Or maybe that was Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Advance.
Brothers 2, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and they wouldn't shut up, and Toad was like really annoying. That's what I remember. And I'm like, man, this sounds a lot like the Japanese voice for Goku. You're right. I was thinking that. Good point.
I'm Toad!
I'm Goku!
Pick me! Vegeta, why must we fight? We are not enemies!
Lend me your spirit for my spirit bomb!
Hey, you ready to get back to the show now?
Yeah, I guess so.
And we're back. Jeff. What do you think about RPGs on the Switch? There are a lot of them of all different kinds and subgenres and versions. Whatever you think RPG means, Jeff. What is the best RPG you played in the Switch, or some of the best?
The best RPG I've played on the Switch. I mean, I don't know. You're
not a giant RPG guy.
Exactly, not a giant RPG guy. So I'm like trying to like rack my brain of like which ones have I even engaged with on the Switch. I probably have.
Think of one you've engaged with.
Oh yeah, a tactic. Yeah, you're right. Tactics RPG. Fire Emblem Engage probably is the best one then. Yeah, I really enjoy it for what it's going for. I'm really glad that it pared down all the stuff that I wasn't as into, and it's just a fun game. That's what I like from RPGs when they're fun, and Engage is exactly that.
Yeah. Gosh, I've played quite a bit. I think in terms of like original RPGs on the system, Engage is good. I did like Three Houses a lot, and at least right now I like that one more. I mean, I played through that one 2 times. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is very good, especially considering my low expectations for it.
I enjoyed that game when I played too.
Yeah. I think my favorite quote-unquote original release has been Live Alive, which I know it's a remake, but it's a very good remake. I don't know. I just love Live Alive. And then in terms of kind of ports and like remasters, Dragon Quest XI is probably the best turn-based RPG of like the generation. I don't mean like console generation. I mean it more in like actual generation terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the best turn-based RPG since like the days of like, like Final Fantasy X or what have you. It's fantastic. And I also really like Tales of Vesperia. I know I talked about before, and that was a good remaster. And I know the Tales of Symphonia remaster is a bit of a shit show. Just don't play that. Play Tales of Vesperia. That game rules. But Jeff, why don't we see excuse me, what our community has to say about this one. Yes. Excuse me, I got a little Edmund Fitzgerald down my throat.
Oh no.
And I'm the Edmund Fitzgerald. The crash of the Edmund Fitzgerald!
Oh, so beautiful.
That's Toad singing the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I noticed.
Ben JC says, I'm a cheat and say the entire Xenoblade franchise. That's true. Well, 3 super high quality RPGs are some of the best in the medium. I don't think it can get better than that. It's the entire franchise isn't on Switch, Jeff. We don't have X yet, huh?
That's right. I was going to point that out, but I'm not, I'm not pedantic, but actually the truth is I couldn't remember what the name of the one that was missing was.
Well, actually, okay.
Yeah, got him.
The Jadava says, I'm not finished with it yet, but Fire Emblem Engage is my first game in the Fire Emblem series. I'm addicted to the combat, and using the emblem rings right make for some very good combos. Also like that if I can't figure out the right strategy, auto battle is there to assist me. Yeah, it's good. Maybe tonight I'll finally get back to playing it. I kind of been procrastinating since Metroid Prime completely stopped my momentum in the game, which is always kind of an awkward thing. I really like to kind of play through a game, like just like not in one sitting, but pretty continuously. I don't like to take breaks and then try to go back to it. It always feels
it's tough.
weird. But if I don't do it soon with Engage, then I might be lost forever. And we don't want that.
No.
Velocity Prime says, I haven't really played a ton of RPGs on Switch, but the one I had the best time with was Dragon Quest XI. Just the best modern execution of a classic JRPG. That one.
Oh, he said it! Oh, he said it! JRPG! Oh no! Sorry. Sorry, Mike. Sorry. I can turn it off. I'm turning it off. My bad. I'm not trying to derail the whole show. Sorry. This is a fun time. Mike, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
I'm not affiliated with him. All right, I said nothing about this. I don't have no opinion, man. And look,
Nick GG in chat says, "Wow, this is an X-Play skit."
Oh, great! We're going from one problematic thing of the week to another.
Man, those were real bad. I was watching those clips. Those were terrible.
They should be ashamed.
Absolutely, they're not either. They're not ashamed.
No, he's not. He does not care. You know what? This is a stupid thing to sound proud of. I never watched G4. I thought, even back then, even before the word existed, I thought it was kind of cringe.
I did, and I remember now, like, seeing like skits like that and be like, this is dumb. This is bad and like kind of weird. Like, we don't talk about other places like this anymore. But I'm like, then you watch any movie from the mid 2000s, and they're all like that.
Right. I mean, it looked, obviously things are systematic. But that doesn't totally excuse individuals. But all you got to do is say, "Yeah, I was messed up. I'm sorry I did that."
Yeah, right.
Whatever that was.
God, you just say sorry.
Just say sorry.
Yep.
Instead of like making it some weird thing about resenting the entire industry and its fandom. Yes, Dragon Quest XI is very good. Shoji Koto says, for me, it's easily Live Alive. I enjoy its unusual vignette structure, which keeps things interesting in regard to the individual stories and how they all intertwine into a single climactic ending. The HD 2D style breathes new life into this remake from a visual perspective, and also Megalomania absolutely rocks. Yeah, man, that's a really good game. Did Toby Fox name his song Megalovania because of the good song in Live Alive named Megalomania? Yeah, that sounds like something Toby Fox would do as an RPG.
I think he said though, like Moon and Live Alive were two games that inspired him. Yeah,
everyone's saying yes, directly inspired. Well, there you go.
I think he's mentioned it a couple times. Yeah,
Live Alive rules. Hosp says, "Ugh, it has to be Skyrim because portable Skyrim in 2017 was fucking excellent. I keep coming back again and again to mess with those deep systems. I can't believe Skyrim even on the Switch is like 6 years old now, Jeff."
Wow, that's actually a really fucked up thing when you think about it.
Messed up.
That fucking sucks actually to think about.
Is Elder Scrolls 6 a PlayStation 6 game?
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be on PlayStation at all, but yes.
I mean, that's right. I mean, an Xbox Series Z
Z2.
game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It feels like it at this point.
God damn it. Benji Glasky says, "Gotta have to give it to Dragon Quest XI. In a time where JRPG stories and battle systems just keep getting more and more convoluted, Dragon Quest XI just keeps it to basics and refines them, puts a modern coat of paint on it. It gave me an experience I absolutely adore." Yeah, I think Dragon Quest might be, especially if you're looking for something turn-based. Notice I avoided the phrase JRPG. If you're looking for something turn-based and kind of retro feeling, Dragon Quest XI, I think, is the best.
Yeah, Dragon Quest XI is a game that's so good, I accidentally played it for like 11 hours.
Wow, 11. Was that just you being cute?
It probably just because the number was in my head because of the game, but it was at least 10 hours. I was just like, I think I was on vacation, and I booted it up on my PC, and I installed a bunch of mods, and then I just started playing. I'm like, I don't know, this game just looks cool. I want to see it. And then I started playing. I'm like, oh, this is pretty fun. It's moving, and I just kept playing.
It's like a longer. I'm not usually. I feel like the RPGs that are too long these days. I don't see there's any reason why they need to be longer than 50 hours. Agreed. But that one definitely got to the 80-hour mark, and I was mostly okay with it. Yep. It went pretty breezy.
Exactly, it's a breezy, fun game.
Nintendo Bro says, "Well, it would be Super Mario RPG on NSO, but actually, I'd say my favorite has been Fire Emblem Engage. I enjoy Three Houses, but I'm one of the traditional players that enjoys the heavy combat focus Engage has compared to Three Houses. It's so good. Yeah, the fights feel so good in Engage.
Yes, the fights feel great. There's a lot of variety there, a lot of clever gimmicks in some of those levels. I'm even at a point where like, oh, they have skirmishes back in these older levels I've already done. Yeah, let's go. I want to go back and do some more. I'm not doing every single one of those, but I'm excited occasionally. Like, yeah, let's grind a little bit and get powered up and use some of these characters I wouldn't get to use otherwise because they're getting left behind a little bit. Like, yeah, good game.
Rumham says, well, since it's getting added to NSO, Golden Sun. Great puzzles, incredible art, one of the best soundtracks, interesting battle system. It's just so good, even though 2 is actually better. Yeah, that's right. You could say Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga now.
That's right.
That could be your answer.
Man, that is a very good RPG on the Switch. Very good RPG anywhere. Yeah, people should. I loved Golden Sun too. I really liked Golden Sun. I would have to play it again to see if it holds up. But at the time, I remember really enjoying it.
I barely ever played it. I played a little bit of it back when it came out. It was technically my brother's copy, and I played it a bit. I thought the battles looked really cool. I really liked the kind of over the shoulder thing it did.
And it's got this
moved a lot.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's got this weird, almost claymatic style to it, where the characters look very stylized and sort of rough against these backgrounds, and then the camera would sort of would pan and turn, and the sprites would turn a little bit as well, and I don't know, it just looked really cool. It was a cool looking game.
Chaos Buckaroo says, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. 4 great stories with tons of lovable and memorable characters. I, for one, thought the sim elements were a fantastic addition. Yeah, I do like those sim elements. It is funny, like, for some reason, I do like not having them right now. Maybe it's just because it was the last one.
Yeah, we got them already in a good game.
Right. Well, I criticize Fire Emblem, the one after Awakening, and I always forget
I can't remember either. Fates. That's right.
I criticize Fates because it was just Awakening again, and it just kind of like, I wish they did something a bit more interesting than this. So I'm glad Engage did do that. I'm glad it wasn't just 3 Houses again. If they want to do one sometime that does have a bit more of the sim elements, that'd be fine, but I hope it is different than what 3 Houses did. Laser Wolf says, kind of cheating as I played it on more other platforms, but it's Witcher 3, one of my favorite games of all time. Is that a native port? Witcher 3? It is, isn't it? That's not a cloud version.
No, I have it. It's one of those impossible ports. And Saber Interactive did that. I remember interviewing them about that, and like, listen, trying to fit that much game into that little RAM was really rough, but we got there, and it took a lot, but we were able to like get there and then make optimizations and then start turning stuff back on. And we were able to turn on a lot more than we were expecting. You could totally play that game on the Switch and get the experience.
That's nuts. Dr. Suss says, Persona 5 Royale. That game is perfect to be played handheld in bed. I don't know how much better it looks or runs on PlayStation or Xbox, but I think it looks great on my OLED. Plus, the entire game is on the cartridge with no need to download patches to make it playable. Yeah, I guess we just have all these Persona games on there now. Like, I don't associate those with Switch. I never played any of those on Switch. Persona 3, 4, and 5, though, are very good games. I've been like Persona 5, not Scrambles. Persona, the Muso. Yeah. It's not really a Muso.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to think of it.
Strikers. Yeah, Strikers. It's called Scramble in Japan. Evo Janice says, for an RPG made for the Switch, I'm going with Xenoblade 3. Not my favorite story in the series, but the class system and side quests made the 200 hours I put into it feel ever-changing and new all the time. Great solo experience. For a port, my brothers and I played Diablo 3 for the first time on Switch, and that's just a blast and runs fairly well online on Switch. Great port. Yeah, Diablo 3 on Switch actually ruled.
Yes, it's a good way to just like, especially if you're someone who's like going through those missions over and over and playing some of the late game stuff, you could probably just burn through that, and then I guess docking it to the TV and playing it 4-player couch co-op whenever you want. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, that game was kind of best on Switch, funnily enough.
Yeah, that's cool.
Bayleaf Moon says, Xenoblade 3 is my favorite game of all time. 10 out of 10 on every single front. Absolute perfect game to me. Want to give another option and say 13 Sentinels. It has the most intricate story of any game I've ever played, using 13 different perspectives to tell a coherent story. All the while, the story written by one man is just insanity, and the combat is so underrated, and it's so much fun. Yeah, I kind of forgot about 13 Sentinels, but I played that when it came to Switch, and liked it a ton. It is almost more like visual novel-ish, perhaps, than the tactical combat stuff is almost secondary, but it is fun. I did like it a lot, so yeah, definitely big props to 13 Sentinels. it leaves a weird impression because first it's like, oh, this is just a bunch of naked teenagers and robots, but it somehow overcomes that weirdness.
Like Michael Jackson.
Carl Menger says Divinity Original Sin 2, the turn-based isometric CRPG port with a controller scheme so good. Do you have a siren for CRPG, Jeff?
No, because that's normal and good. It's
makes it feel like it was designed for consoles. The icing on the cake and why Switch version wins. Cross saves with the PC version. Tactical mouse and keyboard at home. Switch Lite on the go. Steam Deck Lite before there was a Steam Deck. I wish more CRPGs did this. Divinity Original Sin 2 is my most started game. I think, Jeff. I like it. I keep starting it, and I get distracted. I forget what I'm doing.
That game just has straight up multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we should. I would like to maybe make that a thing. So it's a game I also have started a bunch of times, and I got into it and I enjoyed it, but I never really saw it through or anything. So
it's a very specific kind of multiplayer vibe where you and your buddy aren't hanging out and goofing around because you both have to be reading things together a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It could be a unique experience. I don't know.
Oh no, Leia says the Switch isn't always my preferred console for RPGs, but of the ones I played there, I think it's Xenoblade the first. I played its original incarnation on the Wii, but I never finished it, so it was really nice to come back and get super invested in an improved version. I haven't played 3 yet, but when I do, I'm sure I'll love that too. That's definitely the best version of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, yeah. But I bet, a lot of our listeners seem to like 3 best once they play all 3 of them, so I wonder, I think you might be the same. Oh no, we'll see.
Yeah.
Dan Park says, despite its shortcomings, Octopath Traveler was, at its release, the best evolution of a singular team's work in the turn-based RPG realm. Following up Bravely Default and Bravely Second for the DS, Team Asano took the concept from those games and expanded upon it with a modular class system that allowed you to build characters you wanted to. The story is lacking, but when in battle, the game fires on all cylinders. Octopath 2 being an even better evolution of that system also solidifies the series as a Nintendo Switch great.
You gonna play that?
I want to try 2 because people like 2 a lot. Man, no one talks about Bravely Default 2 anymore, huh?
Yeah, the Bravely Default games seem like firmly in the past at this point.
Well, I hope. I mean, God, I like Bravely Default and Bravely Second. Bravely Default 2 just did not hit. And then I think that new World Ends With You is maybe even more quickly sort of dropped and forgotten.
Neo, The World Ends With You, just nothing.
That's a bummer. Bradfish says, for me, it has to be Shin Megami Tensei 5. 5.
That game doesn't even have any heart. Sorry.
Yeah, well, right. It's one of those games that's so good that I hope it gets ported to another console, so even those weird anti-Switch people out there can enjoy it. Persona has become the face of the franchise, and SMT doesn't have the heart. I still think anyone who enjoyed Persona 5 owes it to themselves to give SMT 5 a chance. I do have to say, Jeff, that I played SMT 5 for a bit and fell off relatively quickly, but I don't know. As much as I love turn-based RPGs, like as soon as they are more, it's weird. I wouldn't necessarily call SMT 5 a dungeon crawler, but people loved 4 on the 3DS, and I beat that game. And it's one of those things where I beat this 70-hour game and then have no strong feelings about it. It's this weird thing. Like I'm like, why did I even do that? I don't know. So I don't know why the mainline SMT games just haven't really been for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way. So, but I don't know. I'm also always surprised like those Shin Megami Tensei games will come out and people will fall over themselves and be very excited. I'm like, oh, there is a bigger audience for these games than I realized.
Oh yeah, they always do pretty well for themselves. I mean, I think they said SMT 5 was like the biggest launch for a series that isn't a Persona game, right?
Yep, they keep getting bigger.
Chrono Bound says, this is tricky. My favorite RPG that's on the Switch is Planescape Torment. My favorite RPG I played on the Switch, possibly because of recency bias, would be Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Planescape Torment's on the Switch?
I guess that's the original one, right? That's the Planescape Torment, or is that the because there was the successor they did on Kickstarter.
There was the Numenera.
Yes, tied to Numenera, yeah.
Yeah, Planescape Torment's the original. This was the one that all the CRPG nerds said was the best
Yes,
one.
that's right.
At the time.
Right.
And I never got too far in it myself. It's something I want to go back to play. I didn't get much further than having a talking floating skull sort of following me around and talking to me. But if that's good on the Switch, that might be
Could be cool.
Interesting to try. Because like playing Icewind Dale 2 was always a bit much for me. Just trying to jump into that. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Go knock on some door and a wolf kills me or something. Pablo Costa says,
cool.
yeah, it's fun. I played my fair share of RPGs on Switch, and while I know it came first on the Vita, my vote goes to Ys 8. I'm not going to say that subtitle.
Lacrimosa of Dana.
Good job, Jeff. Yes, the graphics are outdated, and the performance is passable. However, both the combat and the music are spectacular. It's one of a handful of games I love to play again. This is the one I was playing on my Steam Deck, and it was great on the Steam Deck because it was just running at 60 frames per second and was basically, playing perfectly. So, no offense to the Switch version, but this was a great Steam Deck game.
I have still never touched a Ys game.
They're pretty basic action RPGs in sort of nice ways. Like there's not a lot of extra flair for no reason. It's, you have a small party, here's your buttons and your cooldowns, and go attack things, and it's kind of nice.
Wait, is it Wise?
Or man, I've always said Ys.
Ys nuts! Sorry.
You're going to make me cry. Bully. Can I continue?
Yeah, sorry.
You can keep saying sorry.
I'm not really sorry. I just like saying it. It sounds
great.
Nice.
Tink! Now chat too. You're awful. Tink says, since Dragon Quest XI is already taken, I'll go with my 1B and say Collection of Mana. I was just thinking about Collection of Mana because I'm a weirdo. The only Mana game I beat was that first one when it got remade on Vita, I think, and it was called Sword of Mana. I never really cared for Secret of Mana, even though people love it. It sounds like that third one is actually good. The one that was only recently translated. See, Mechanize in the chat says, hot take, Secret of Mana is bad. I don't think it's bad. I do think it's overrated. I think knowledge burdened me on that one because I know how it was meant for like the Super Nintendo CD or whatever, and then got scaled back. And you can kind of tell. Like, it does this weird thing very early in the game where you just kind of get shot across the world map. And maybe I was misconstruing it, but it just felt to me like I was being shot past a bunch of cut content. I don't know, Jeff.
I listen, I've never touched any amount of games, but I always conflated them with Secret of Evermore, and I think Secret of Evermore is good.
Secret of Evermore is good. It plays very similarly. It was made by a completely different team. There's no actual connection. Secret of Evermore is neat because it's set up as a bit more interesting. It's like you're just some kid with a dog from some city and you get sent to this fantastic place. Its design is a bit of a mess. You can kind of get lost in not great ways. It's a very interesting game. I like Secret of Evermore, and I never beat it. I honestly got further in Secret of Evermore than I did in Secret of Mana. You say Mana or Mana?
Secret of Mana. That's what I say. I'm sure it's wrong.
You said Mana a bit ago, I thought.
Yeah, but I think I actually used a Secret of Mana.
Okay.
Yeah. Mana is Magic the Gathering is when it's mana, but
right. Yes, if it's a resource in an RPG, then it's mana.
Right.
But if it's like of the life essence in a more spiritual video game title sense, then it's mana.
But if it's a very good beer, is it mana from heaven or mana from heaven?
It's mana from heaven. The Rock says mana when he talks about Terra Mana, right? So there you go. Yeah. Didn't Legend of Mana, which was the really, really pretty PlayStation 1 one that people didn't said was okay, but it's really pretty. That got a remaster/remake not too long ago. I wonder if that's any good. It looks so good. It's a pretty game. Gigantes 42 says Shin Megami Tensei 5 combat system is fantastic. Demon's movesets are very customizable. The writing for Demon negotiations is well written, witty and funny. The way the battle music is quiet and ominous before you make your first move, then cranks it up to 100 once you start attacking. What a great fucking game. There you go. That's 2 for SMT5.
Yeah, there you go.
Screaming Madness says, it's gotta be Fire Emblem 3 Houses for me. I enjoyed the social school aspect of that game. Love the Golden Deer campaign. I was really happy to train people such as How do you say her name?
Lycia?
And Raphael. See, if they all had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle names, I'd be able to pronounce them. To become absolute units. And also, Claude is a good lad. Yeah, I did the Black Eagles campaign and the Golden Deer. And I did like the Golden Deer.
Right, you did the fascists and then the cool kids.
Yes, they were much nicer than well, there's some nice people in the fascist group, which is all the funnier that they're fascists, I guess.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean,
there's like poor opera singer lady with the hat. Then she loses her hat. Then there was like shy shut-in girl. That was actually the one I romanced, Bernadetta.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, but too bad about her being a fascist.
Yeah, I was the Blue Lions, and my crew was just a bunch of sad monarchists, and they only got sadder and more monarchy as we went on.
Yeah, that's kind of the hero cop group. It's sort of bland and boring.
Yeah, totally. I like them a lot.
One Up versus CPU says it's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but I don't want to hear Mike blow up like he just lost a video game draft game. Jesus. So I'm gonna pretend it's Monster Hunter Rise. I can't even go back to Monster Hunter World after Rise. Mobility is much better. The matchmaking has been greatly improved over World. It has tons of content, and it feels like the developers actually listened to the fans and got rid of crap like Rampages and Sunbreak. I don't want to do WoW or Destiny rating on a schedule anymore, but Monster Hunter Rise is always there for me when I need to scratch the loot hunting itch, since I can play it at my own pace. Oh, I'm glad they got rid of the Rampages and Sunbreak. Those were pretty dumb. That was like the kind of tower defense thing. You said you liked it?
No, I was going to say I like that we're all tiptoeing around you blowing up and having a meltdown. So we're like pretending we don't like Scarlet and Violet.
It's not, well, I appreciate the sensitivity, everybody. It's the right thing to do. Look, I think I had a headache after Thursday. I can't do that again.
If Mikey ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
That's right. That's the saying. You all get it. You'll all learn. Lenny, Cool Dick Denver. God, I love saying it.
It's really good.
I just love the quotations of
Cool Dick. Yep.
like you may know me as Cool Dick.
Yeah, that's Cool Dick. How do you get his name?
Lenny Denver. Do you think his real name, is his birth certificate name Lenny Denver?
Leonard Denver.
Leonard Denver. That's kind of fun to say.
Yeah, I like that.
Not as good as Lenny Cool Dick Denver, though.
Sure.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is my favorite RPG that released on Switch, but as that's already taken, Mario and Luigi on NSO will be my pick. Although I love Paper Mario 64, Mario and Luigi got me into RPGs and led me to getting the Final Fantasy GBA ports and play Thousand Year Door. I never played the 3DS version, but I beat the Game Boy Advance version multiple times. I don't think you need to play the 3DS version. I don't think it improves anything and it just kind of looks uglier.
Yeah, that's right.
Beef Hammer says, Octopath Traveler is by no means perfect, but I'm here to give it some love as my favorite. It gave birth to a fantastic 2D pixel art style. I really enjoy the combat and job systems in the game, and I was never put off by the structure of 8 separate stories. Glad it revived old school RPGs from Square. DMC, Depressed Me Crying, has that meme with the guy from the father from Fairly Odd Parents. This is where I put Mario RPG on NSO if I had one.
Yeah, God, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It took me a second because Kirby U posted a picture of Leon with the RPG saying, "This baby saved my ass during the Salazar boss fight."
Right.
And I get it.
A rocket-propelled grenade. He's not holding a copy of Final Fantasy VI, everybody.
Right. You think they make RPGs like that in Japan?
A JRPG? Yeah, I hope so.
Like a JRPG.
Yeah, they probably do.
Rocket-propelled gun? Is that a rocket-propelled...
Grenade.
Grenade?
Rocket-propelled grenade.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a grenade that's propelled by a rocket, Mike. It just is what it is. It says it right on the tin.
Razzle Jazzle says, with my top 2 choices already mentioned in this thread, I'll go with the original Paper Mario. That said, I'm hopeful that the forthcoming HD 2D remake of Dragon Quest III will end up taking the top spot. So I just played the port of Dragon Quest III that's on Switch right now, and it's no more than like a gussied up version of a mobile port, but I still really liked that game a lot. It wasn't like a very pretty port or anything.
Yeah, I think there's a reason they're doing that one, right? I think they think it could be modern, like very easily appeal to modern sensibilities. So
sure,
yeah.
I mean, 3 is the I think so. There's 4 NES ones, 3 and 4 are the one people like, and 4 already had a pretty good remake in the DS era that looks good. Like 3's had some remakes before. I think there was a Super Nintendo remake. I think even a Wonder Swan remake. But yeah, it definitely deserves a very pretty remake. Jedi Moss 4 says, after getting about halfway into the game, Octopath Traveler 2 might be an all-time great RPG. The improved 2D HD visuals are so good that it might be one of the best-looking games in recent years. The pacing and grinding is improved. Some starting chapters will get you into the combat quick. There's more character interaction. The chapters for each character are varied and interesting with improved writing, and rarely do the same thing twice. While I might be high on a new release, I do think Octopath 2 will end up stand out as an RPG on the Switch. If you didn't like 1, you should give 2 a shot. Yeah, I'm going to give 2 a shot, aren't I? So,
yeah. I got it on Steam, and I'm like, I might just boot it up on the Steam Deck and see what happens.
Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth says Final Fantasy Fire Emblem Engage. What'd you drop?
A piece of gum.
Really?
I don't want to. I'm playing with a piece of gum, like not one I've chewed, but like I got one out of this thing, and I start smushing it, and I'm like fixated on it, and I can't stop. It's weird, and so I didn't want to talk about it.
You know, I have things too, Jeff, but they're actually designed for that, like this bubble thing.
Right, I got those things too.
On it.
And I'm not playing with that. I'm playing with the piece of unchewed gum because I'm weird.
All right, you know what, Jeff? I won't judge.
I appreciate that, everybody. Listen, I know what I've done.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth says Fire Emblem Engage. I liked it even more than Three Houses. We're hearing a lot more love for Engage than Three Houses. Well, maybe not a lot more. We had some Three Houses fans in chat also, but that's a lot for Engage. Ed says Persona 5 Royal. Great port. It pops on the OLED, and Persona is perfect for handheld gaming. Now, that can't run at 60 FPS, though. That would kind of be a bit, not want to say deal breaker, because I played Dragon Quest 11 at just 30 frames per second on Switch instead of having it running 60 FPS on Xbox or what have you, and didn't really care. It really doesn't matter that much for JRPGs, but still.
Yeah.
Zipsis says, what's that, Jeff? Did I cut you off?
No. I was just going to agree that I'm like, yeah, I think Persona 5 Royal was just 30. I mean, but it was like 30 frames per second on PS3 before it was Royal, of course. But yeah, I think that's right.
Well, I mean, it launched on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and I'm pretty sure it was 60 on 4.
Right,
yes. I wouldn't be shocked if the PlayStation 3 version was 30.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Ezipsa says, there's nothing I hate more than going through a game and reaching a point where I can't progress further because I'm underleveled. I can't stand having to grind XP because it's simply just not fun. I guess that's why I enjoyed Paper Mario the Origami King so much. So yeah, the battle system isn't amazing, but it's different, and I found it to be fun enough to hold my attention. But where the game really shines is in its story. It's such a fun game, which also holds some truly emotional moments. It's by far my favorite and only RPG I played on Switch. Look at that. That's 1 for Paper Mario the Origami King and 0 for Mario plus Rabbids so far.
I like Origami King. It's good. It's a good game, not great.
Lazy Nickname says, I'm going to have to say Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's my first foray into the Xeno series, and the genre is quite a bit out from my usual wheelhouse, but I really wanted to push myself into other things. I really didn't understand much of what was going on at first, but when I was playing the game, it was so much fun. Octo says, I haven't seen anyone say Disco Elysium. So I'll say Disco Elysium. Tremendous game. Happens to be out on Switch. Live Alive would probably be the other one if I'd finish it. I've never played Disco Elysium. Now, this is like an RPG in terms of like role playing. Like you are basically making a lot of dialogue choices, and there's ramifications of that, right?
Yes, right. And if you, let's say, someone asks you like, "Hey, what do you think we should do about blank?" and you're like, "I'm gonna kind of maybe pretend I'm a little bit fascist just to see what happens." The game will be like, "Guess what? Your character's a fascist." And it's like, oh, okay, well, shit. So you like the consequences are pretty harsh and come down, but it makes the game more interesting.
Okay. The Wolong Wolf 5 says, my favorite one is Jeff Beat. Crap, that means none. I guess I'll go with Live Alive. I was going to say his favorite one is one Jeff Beat.
Yes.
I'll go with Live Alive. Arguably one of the best remakes of all time. Taking a game that was already amazing and upgrading it to become something truly special. I specifically want to shout out the music, especially one of the greatest boss themes in all of gaming. Megalomania. Well, there you go. Clink says, it's been said a few times, but I do love Shin Megami Tensei 5. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. That's more for Tensei 5 than I was expecting, Jeff.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
love.
It happens every time. Like, oh, a lot more people love those games than I realize.
Yeah, one thing I was gonna say because Nocturne, which Shin Megami Tensei 3 got that port to Switch. I know that's one people like a lot. I wonder if anybody will bring that up. Big Tony says, I always have a tough time picking a favorite anything, so I'll just say Fire Emblem Engage just because of recency bias. Hey, that's the best kind of bias. Drewman says, my pick is going to be The Witcher 3. Although I didn't play it on the Switch, it still counts. This game renewed my love for video games during a time when I was burning out. The scale of the world was incredible, and the story was expertly crafted. I'll never forget finishing what I thought was the end game, only to find I had an entire other act left to finish. Then the incredible DLC later on, just a fantastic experience start to finish, even on the Switch. So, I never played those DLCs for The Witcher 3. I'm not going to do that on the Switch.
No.
I would do it on like my Series X or something. But
I mean, it's pretty good on Steam Deck, so yeah.
Yeah, everybody talks about how good those are. Durbear says, posting late, ain't got time to bloviate. Bug Fables.
Bloviate.
I felt bad because I was really enjoying Bug Fables. We tried to do it as our first Game Club game, and the pressure to like try to beat a game that's like 30 hours long in a month kind of just got to me. Then I didn't finish it and just sort of fell off. But it is really fun, especially if you do like the old school Paper Mario games. It's good stuff. Jeremy Biff says Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There it is. We found a perfect.
Yeah.
Just joking, Jeremy. Kind of. It's my first 100 plus hour JRPG. Of the characters, I bet you do, and I'm terrible. And world of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's more janky than our games and have a lot of convoluted systems, but I like because of that. It gives the game character. I felt Xenoblade 3 sanded off a lot of the weirdness. I really like just how huge. I really felt just huge on a small screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bet that felt huge. It has my favorite RPG reveals of all time. It's a great love story. Also, Pyrrha is the best. It's also better than Breath of the Wild. Well, now I don't regret everything I said. You had that all coming and then some.
Jeremy, don't worry. Mike is just protesting too much. He's just like, oh, yeah, and all that stuff. So turns me off is what it does.
JD Camp says. Great. Hentai RPG, a Isekai Journey. It's a real game on the Switch eShop. Let's look this up. Isekai Journey.
That's Isekai, right? That's what people are talking about.
Isekai?
Is that how you spell
Isekai.
it? Yeah. I think it's
right. You're right. That's an
Isekai.
Isekai Journey. A match threesome. Wait, this looks just like a honey hop or whatever the hell that's called.
How do you know what honey pop looks like? Oh wait, we've been over that.
I played it.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, this is just that, but with more women, more Japanese women. Oh, it's kind of Excuse me, I'm looking at this. Give me a second.
No, please take your time. Is it just?
Yeah, this is literally just honey pop.
Is it called Hentai RPG Isekai Journey?
I think it actually might be.
God, that rules. Nintendo got so cool.
I thought he was just classifying. All right, look, can I really like find the eShop listing for this?
I mean, I know.
It's on Nintendo's here, Nintendo.com/store/product/hentai RPG Isekai Journey Switch. This is incredible.
Yeah, here we go. All right.
I need to get this.
Yeah, how much is it?
$5.
Basically, you're losing money if you don't get Hentai Journey, Isekai Journey.
There's just an upskirt panty like shot in like the preview images.
And I was on Steam today, and I literally clicked on one button for a game that looked normal, and then it was just an immediate butthole. It was just like, here is a butthole. I'm like, oh man, Steam, you wild. But hey, Switch is out there too, kind of doing the same thing.
Can I read the feature
Mike,
list
of course you can. Where do you think you are? Of course you can.
3 charming Three charming anime waifu, not waifus, waifu. Over 10 animated scenes, and thoughtful system of
Yeah. We want to take it from the top. Thoughtful system of
thoughtful system of pumping.
of pumping.
Yeah.
Is it thoughtful? THOT.
THOUG.
Okay, all right, fine. Damn it. All right.
Thoughtful system of pumping. What does that mean?
I mean, I think I know what it means. I think I know what it's trying to. Thoughtful system of pumping is the name of this episode. All right.
I can't believe the words thoughtful system of pumping are together on a Nintendo website.
You can go look at those words on your Nintendo Switch right now.
This game's rated. This game came out on February 3rd. Rated M for mature for language, partial nudity, and suggestive themes. Is this only on the Switch? What? Man,
I mean,
there's got to be
I'll look up Steam right now. I mean, let's see. Okay.
What the hell?
I'm gonna type in.
There has to be like a censored version of a much more pornographic game than you can get away with on the Switch.
Hentai. My computer is smoking. There's so many, but the processor can't handle it.
Google thoughtful system of pumping.
Okay, wait. What's the name of this? Hentai.
It's called Hentai RPG Isekai Journey.
Isekai.
It's JD Kip's favorite RPG on the Switch.
On Steam, there's one called Anime RPG Isekai Journey. It looks like a honey pop, and it's coming soon.
I bet it is. All right. Okay, then.
Thoughtful system of pumping. I gotta write that down.
Looking at it, it does make you appreciate the quality of Honey Pop. It doesn't. The art is not.
I mean, but does this one have the buttholes in the wrong place, like Honey Pop?
That's a good point. What to play to find out?
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Okay. Next one is from. To be honest, I liked Jeff's Draft Bop. Golf Story is a really charming sports RPG with humor, a cute art style, fun golf mechanics, and one of the indies that saved the Switch in the early wasteland of the console's launch. They should really make a sequel to that game. Surprised no one ever thought of that. Yeah, for sure, Bob. Don't worry. It's too bad. Just imagine how great it would have been and never worry about that again.
Yeah, it's a real shame. I think they can never do it. I heard something about that. So I guess we'll go back and play the original.
Inufe says, Dragon Quest XI-S is my favorite Switch RPG. I played it during the beginning of the pandemic, and it's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. It's the game that made me realize all RPGs need to be played on handheld systems. Fantastic music, writing, and characters really helped to bring the entire thing together. Can't wait for Dragon Quest 12. Yeah, I wonder when we hear more about Dragon Quest 12. I mean, they may not say too much about it until we're on the other side of Final Fantasy 16 and maybe even Reunion. I always forget what the... Rebirth, yeah.
Rebirth, right. It's like, it's Final Fantasy time right now, and that's fine. As long as it's like not a huge long wait for Dragon Quest, yeah.
M. Goldie says, everyone is wrong. It's Kingdom Hearts Cloud Edition because nothing makes Kingdom Hearts better than being on the cloud.
Yeah, Cloud's the stand in that game.
Bob also sent a picture of an RPG. Thank you. Did you know that RPG stands for Rocket Propelled Grenade?
Oh, no. Wow, okay. Cool to learn something tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm full of these little factoids.
Yeah.
Matt Rare Monkey says, I hate that. For me, it's Skyrim. The 4th of the 5 times I had purchased it, pretty sure. Just being able to play on the go was such a boon. So there you go. That's it. Man, no one else said Tales of Vesperia. More of you should play Tales of Vesperia, methinks.
Yeah, any other notable absences or notable omissions from the audience?
No one said Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, which was like a relatively big port. Even Persona 4 did come out on Switch already, right? People said 5, but no one brought
I don't know. I thought it did, but I don't know.
Yeah, so no one brought up the older ones. No one brought back Rune Factory or anything like that. But I think we got
no one brought up Ring Fit Adventure.
No one brought up Ring Fit Adventure. No one did bring up the Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah, that's true.
No one brought up Triangle Strategy or Tactics Ogre.
Yeah. Or what are the 5 other Square Enix games last year? A Valkyrie Profile or whatever it was.
Yeah, Elysium.
Valkyrie Elysium.
Theofield Chronicles.
Yeah.
That stuff. Yeah.
Oh well.
Harvestella. Yeah, sure, exactly. Jeff, I think we got some more super chats during all that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, let me take a look here. Let me see where we're at. I think we got this one from Steven Sullivan, so I think we go right here. From L. Grug, how would you rate AEW Revolution on a scale of 1 to 5 Jimmy Carters?
Man, 4 Jimmy Carters seems to 4.5 Jimmy Carters.
Yeah.
Those are very good pay-per-view.
Yeah, and when's the last time a pay-per-view was 5 Jimmy Carters?
It's unheard of. I think WrestleMania 17, and that was it.
Yeah, that's right. That was 6 Jimmy Carters somehow. I've still not really caught this. I really want to because I've heard nothing but great things about that main event and a couple of the other matches.
Yeah.
So and I did watch. Matches, yeah. I did watch a little bit of the post game interview, and I was into what MJF was doing there, eating his pickles and stuff.
Eating his pickle, really healing it up.
Yeah, God, he's
screaming at Dave Meltzer.
Yes, it clearly just being like, "Oh, where are these pickles from? Oh, yeah, this is my pickle place in town." I'm like, "Oh, I get what you're doing, MJF. Yeah, this is good. Doing. This is good." So that alone gets 3 Jimmy Carters. We'll see. I'm gonna watch that thing. I'm gonna make that happen.
Ryan Allen's right. It would have been 6 Jimmy Carters if it was in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh yeah, of course, in the Tokyo Dome, six Jimmy Carters. Huey F. Newton, Xenoblade 2 has top tier character design. You cowards.
Bring up the ice boob lady. Bring it up now. You want to come at me with this? I'm going to find it for you. You can share. Talk about
he's freaking
Xenoblade Chronic. Xenoblade. I'll show you your character design.
Can you send it to me directly into a DM on Discord?
Yes, absolutely. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Snow Boob.
Snow Mommy.
Lady. I'm going to find this.
I'm excited. I want to look at a Snow Boob Lady.
Oh, I found her. Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
Okay.
1 second. I'm going to copy this and not save it so I don't ruin my hard drive forever.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're all gonna
regret our words and deeds
of your deed. There it is, Jeff. You got DM'd on Discord.
Yeah,
you say Discord?
Yeah, let me take a look here. Oh my God, I forgot about this. Okay, yeah, that is pretty shameless. Okay,
here's this great character design.
Let me get this up here for everybody.
Show them.
Where's that?
Ice Boob Lady doesn't count. The Blades were guest artists. Dang it! Look, it's in the game.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's black.
I know.
You're just censoring us.
All right, let me find it. Let me just not right.
We got this.
There it is. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Man, I wish I was doing a podcast with her instead. Let's see here.
Look, I'll show one of the main. I'll just show a picture of Pyra's like breast being twice the size of her face too. Whatever you want.
And the spine does just turn into an L to stick the butt right out.
Right, as if it wasn't enough that happened also. You can't really see it, but she has like wolf hands, and it's weird. I
mean, if good character design means I can't stop staring at it because I'm like it's like something in my brain's like I can't process this. Then all right.
No. What? Moving on. As much as I know you don't want to.
How do we move on from that?
We don't, not mentally, but
all right. Let's see here. We have another one from where we at? Yes, from Huey F. Newton again. Xenoblade. Nope, that's the one we just did. From Uriel Delgado. Next Xbox is the Xbox YYZ-FAV. Oh no, I'm sorry, YYZ. And then he says fave RPG is Golden Sun / Dragon Quest 11. Yeah, it's those are some good choices. From Nintendogs, every single Pokemon game on Switch could easily be my favorite RPG, but Arceus and Scarlet and Violet deserve special mentions. Did anyone else say Arceus?
No one else said Arceus, actually. Somebody said Scarlet and Violet. Well, they wanted to and then recanted.
I like Arceus.
But yes, I liked Arceus. Then my next favorite ones would actually be the Let's Go games, honestly.
From El Grug. Even though it comes out in a week, Trails to Azure is also up there. I played a fan translation and is one of the best stories I've ever played. That's exciting.
This is the sequel to Trails from Zero, which we just got a bit ago. So I still need to play Trails from Zero. These are, I played Trails in the Sky and love that. These are the sequels to that. So I'm very excited to play these.
From Beach Raven, have you ever encountered an intentional leak from a game company? Do these happen? Yeah, not really, not usually. When they do happen, it's usually disinformation to try to suss out where the leak is coming from. And it's
like that Star Fox racing game thing.
It could be. Again, I have no insight into that. That's what some people think that was. The thing I remember is hearing like the date for a certain game. And from one source, it was this big, wide open period, and this other person was a specific month. And they're like, I think they were waiting to see, depending on like what I said, it was going to be. They were going to like, oh, well, we know it's coming from here or there. And so when I reported, I'm like, I'm hearing both these things. So it's like they're just like, oh my God, we have no idea where it's coming from because obviously it could be coming from anywhere. Let's see, from Burrito, here's some more money for that 10 times body buffer thing. Good work. I'll take that in lieu of the usual ball chime. The gods are appeased. Yeah, well, listen, we're always here to appease the ball gods.
Yes, please.
From Dream Eater, Monster Hunter Stories 2 is a surprise hit for me. Everybody should try it, and Game Freak needs to take notes. JRPGs are not my thing, but I love this.
Yeah, I've heard people say good things about that. Pretty surprising.
And then John Begovic says, this is a reminder about the PVM, Jeff. Lol. Mike, should I buy this PVM?
What's a PVM?
Professional video monitor. It's like one of the really good CRTs.
Oh.
Is it a Panasonic? I think it's a Panasonic PVM.
Now it's not like they're making these new, right?
No. These are maintained from, from people working in news stations and on sets and stuff. They would have PVMs.
Oh. Jeez. Do they not really? There's really nobody that like just makes like CRTVs of any like for enthusiasts.
Not right now.
I hope that happens. Like it seems like there's a market for it.
I think about it all the time. I'm like, it is apparently a very skill intensive thing, and so yeah, it's like a. But
so
I don't know.
To be like a Samsung who does it. They'd have to like make a factory line for it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think it also requires a lot of specific resources. You have to have like phosphor and paint it on the thing. So like, and then you have the what is it, electron guns that they have to be super accurate. I don't know. I hope you're right, but I think if someone starts making them, how much are they going to be? Like $5,000 per screen or something like that. It seems like it could easily be that.
Jeez.
John, DM me a price of what it would need to make it happen, especially in like a weight, so I can also like see how much it would be for shipping. And then I'll decide. I keep going back and forth because I'm like, I should just go get a free CRT off the side of the street, but that's not happening quite as frequently as it used to. Jared Helder just sent in one. If Final Fantasy 16 is like God of War, what will Dragon Quest 12 be like? Final Fantasy 15.
No, it'll be like Henty RPG Isekai Journey.
Yes. Listen, one can only hope. Mike, that does it for the super chats.
Have you been playing any Nintendo games, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of Engage, a lot of Kirby. I've been playing Magalore's Epilogue with the kids. That's been fun to see how that's different. I talked about that in the Bombcast today. It's got a skill tree. It's actually kind of cool to unlock stuff. It feels very different than the standard Kirby game. And the kids really like Magalore, so it's been a cool time to spend time with them in that game. They also both started getting back into Mario big time, so a lot of Mario Odyssey was happening, a lot of Mario 3D World.
They have to specify that they like Kirby more, or they kind of over that. They just
no, Amy still specifies Mario. That. In fact, we just put out a TikTok where where I say I like Super Mario Odyssey, and she goes, "No, terrible." So she still says it's terrible, but you can tell she's really enjoying it.
So she's a liar. We should catch her on tape and show it to her.
Yes, we
can explain this.
Right, exactly. We can really expose the lies she's been telling on the internet. But yeah, it's been a lot. But I mean, Engage is still fantastic, still really good. It is a big meaty game, but I want to beat it. Like I said, I've been on a little bit of a roll beating games this year. I think I can keep it going with Engage.
It's your year, Jeff. I've been kind of playing more Game Boy games. I was actually playing Metroid 2, like the original.
Right, I remember you mentioned that. Like that's one I've never really even. I played it on my friend's Game Boy when I was a kid, and then I never really tried it because I'm like, oh, it doesn't have a map. It's probably frustrating, and that's kind of what I thought.
Well, I was playing it, and I was having fun, and I was like mostly doing a good job, just kind of progressing. But then eventually, I wasn't sure where to go next, since there's no map. And it's like, well, I guess I could try going back over there and hoping for something. There isn't. And then I just kind of got frustrated and stopped. When I played the original Metroid finally, I did just play it with a guide. That's probably what I should have done with Metroid 2.
Sure.
But, I was just kind of goofing around and ended up playing it for more than I thought. So, but now I'm just like, well, now if I use a guide, I'm not sure which things I have done, which ones I haven't. I felt like I was making good progress. Like I even got the wave beam. I think I got some suit upgrade. I don't know. But it was enough. That's fine. But then I beat Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, which is pretty breezy playthrough, but still a lot of fun. The final level in Wario's castle is pretty good stuff. The Wario boss fight's fun because first he's just normal form, then he uses the rabbit carrot thing, so he gets the bunny ears. Then he uses the fire flower, and he has the fireballs. That stuff's neat.
Yeah, I like Super Mario Land 2 definitely more than Super Mario Land. But it's one I don't I remember getting to that castle screen, but is that castle screen the way that Wario Land 1 begins? Because I recognize it.
Castle's taken away. I mean, you can go up to the castle screen in the beginning of Mario Land 2 also before you can go inside.
That must be what I'm seeing. Okay, yes, because I remember. Okay, so that makes sense.
You should beat Mario Land 2.
I played a lot of it. And I've enjoyed it. Yeah, but you're right. I should just play through it because nothing wrong with Super Mario Land 2. It's got some cool ideas in there, and I don't like it as much as I like the cover art for Super Mario Land 1, but it's still very good.
Mario Land 1 has the better music.
Yes, that too.
That is for sure. Well, Jeff, next week we're going to be going back just to questions again. Again, we do one or the other now. But yeah, I think that's about it. Unless we got any more last-second super chats. I don't want to miss any because I did miss one.
Yeah, let me take one more look here and see. I think we're good. This looks like we're all caught up. I can.
All right, Jeff.
I can hit
Start
the button.
playing us out.
Yeah, there it goes.
All right, then. What do you have to do tomorrow?
I'm going to be playing some Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the internet on GiantBomb.com. Look out for that. Going to be trying to figure out how to upload stuff so we can let Jan keep taking some time off over on Giant Bomb. So I'm going to learn some new skills for my new job a half a year later, more than that. And then, Game This Morning with Lucy. Everyone should tune in. Come hang out with us in the morning. It's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern Time over on GiantBomb.com or twitch.tv/GiantBomb.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Blight Club again on Thursday. Or Sonic 06 with Dan. Good stuff. I'll have to talk to him about Creed 3. I think we both saw it over the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it, but you guys could still have a conversation about it because I don't mind. I really would like to go see it, though. I don't know when I'm going to have a chance.
That was really good. I watched 4 Creed movies and a Frank Stallone documentary on his stream on Friday.
Yes, that was a good time. Bye, everybody.